welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Meg, and today I am doing a pop of color makeup tutorial. Mess, chaos everywhere. I haven't done an actual tutorial all by itself using whatever shadows in a while on my channel, so I really wanted to do something fun today. I wanted to create some sort of a neutral top, and I really wanted to have a lime green pop of color. So if you would like to see how I got this look, I will show you my full face, foundation, concealer, brows. I'm going to show you everything in this video, so let's roll into it. So for the eyes, I wanted to do a pop of color, so I'm going to keep the top part of my eyes pretty neutral, and then we're going to do the color on the lower lash line. So I am taking the Mario palette with KK Beauty, and I'm going to take the shade Miami, which is this nice camel colored brown. I'm going to put that all over my crease, and then to deepen the crease, I am going to take this dark brown over here called Loyalty. So I'm just picking up Miami with a M433 Morphe brush. This is a little bit scratchy, but it picks up a lot of color and deposits it nicely and blends it out nicely. So I'm gonna bring this all the way from inner corner to outer corner. I'm gonna kind of have like a round shape. I'm gonna try to keep it in a round shape today. Normally I try to angle it out in a V shape. I'm trying to do something different. So I'm going to build this color up quite a bit. Now with a Real Techniques 203 blending brush, this is like my favorite blending brush. It's so soft, it does such a great job. I'm going to go ahead and take this light cream. This is like a peachy beigey cream color. This is called Decade. I'm going to pick up just a bit on my brush, and then I'm going to blend this outer edge up to my brow bone. Now I'm taking a Firma 201, I think that's the name of it. I could be wrong. I like this because it has a bit of an oval shape to it, so it's really great to getting into your very inner corner. So I'm taking Loyalty, that dark brown, and I'm just going to keep this really close to my crease. And again, I'm going to put it from outer to inner corner in that same rounded shape. Right now, I'm just focusing on packing the color on, and then I will blend it out with that Morphe brush that has the Miami shade on it. I'm not going to add any more of that camel color to it right now. I'm just going to take whatever is left and use that to blend this. I'm just using a light pressure windshield wiper motions mixed with circular motions. And now I'm going to pick up a little bit more of Miami to blend it together. And then I'm just going to go back with this brush and blend the edge. Alright, so this is what the eyes look like so far. I'm not sure what I want to do with the lids yet, so I'm waiting until I get the lower lash line done. So now I'm just going to go ahead and move on to my base. I just have a moisturizer on, and I just use the Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance Primer. I really like this a lot. I feel like it gives a good base for my foundation to stick on, and at the same time it also fills in pores. And it does have a radiance to it, which I'm all about. I love super glowy skin. Then for a little extraness, I like to take the MAC Strobe Cream in Silver, what is this? Silver Light. I do have full sizes of both of these products. I'm just trying to use up my sample sizes first. Sometimes I will just mix the strobe cream straight up with the primer, but today I'm just going to use them separately, and I'm just going to add this to the high points of my cheek, down my nose, and then also on my forehead, and then whatever is left I'm just going to disperse throughout my face. Normally I do foundation first and then eyes last, But because I was doing this brow focused video that's on my channel, I just decided to do my brows first and then get my eyes started. So now for foundation, this is my holy grail at the moment. It is the Lancome Tan Idol Ultra Wear. Before, my gripe with this was that it was a little bit too dark, but I did find a lighter shade. My previous shade was the shade 100 Neutral, and then at Macy's, I found shade 090. So I don't know if Sephora just didn't carry lighter shades or if this is something new, if they like recently expanded their shade range. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm glad I found one that was lighter. And then I prefer to apply my foundation with a damp sponge because that is how I get the best application for my dry skin. And it works great with this foundation. I just have to be careful around my brows. This is why I like doing my face first, so I can be careless stamping my foundation everywhere. So as you can see, it does give a pretty decent coverage. If I really wanted to cover up my acne spots, I could just go in with a more concentrated layer and blend that out. So for under eye concealer, I picked up something new. This is the Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Fair. And I don't know why I slept on this concealer for so long and like why it took me this long to get it, but I've really been enjoying it for my under eye area. My NARS one, when I'm this pale, the lightest shade in the NARS is too dark for my under eyes. So I had to find something else. And this works really great. I really like it for my dry skin, my dry under eyes. The only thing is that you have to set immediately because it does crease. So I am just going to go back into my RCMA No Color Translucent Powder, and I am going to prep my brush so I can immediately set after it's blended out. And I don't like getting it right under my lower lash line because I don't want to have too much up there. So I basically try to blend out the edges. And if you really wanted to shape your eyeshadow or like really have it be like sharp, you could correct it right now with the concealer, but I wanted to keep that round shape. So I'm gonna kind of go outside the perimeter. And then basically whatever is left is what I'm getting in the under eye area. Does anyone else have like issues with their concealer sometimes picking up where their foundation is? Because this one doesn't do it as bad as the Shape Tape or the NARS one, but it still happens a little bit. It's so weird. And then I'm just gonna get alongside my nose because that's where I tend to get a little bit goopy. And I'm gonna get part of my nose right now. And then once I am done with my other eye, I then go in with, this is an e.l.f. complexion brush, and I will just take like the lightest bit of powder and just go around and set my entire face. So next to contour, I'm just taking my Tarte Pro Glow palette, and I use the shade Sculpt. This looks really great on my fair skin, and to use that, where's my brush? I have the Morphe M435. It is just an angled brush. I like using this for contour. And then first I just lightly stamp, and then I can go in and blend the product out. If you want a lighter contour, you can just go ahead and lightly blend, but I really want to make sure that that's laid down. So that's why I like to go in with the stamping motions first. This does have like a light chocolate scent to it. You basically can just smell it when you're applying the product. And then for my forehead, I always have to lightly tap because if I tend to go back and forth, it will disrupt my foundation and my dry patches will become really noticeable. So I try to be like as gentle as possible when it comes to my forehead. For bronzer, I love the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is like the original before they made the shades, and I just use a blush brush to apply it. And I almost just like using this pretty much in place of blush. So this is just gonna warm the skin up a teensy bit more. And then whatever is left, I'm just lightly going to stamp down the side of my nose. And again, because my nose is really dry and finicky, I have to use the lightest brush strokes, and I do have to stamp it or else the foundation will get disrupted. So just to have a teensy bit of definition, and then to warm up the forehead a little bit. And I'm going to take the teensiest bit of blush. This is a Party Blush by Tarte. It was like a birthday sample from Sephora last year. And this is just like a little, like it rubbed off. I think it's like, this is an Essence travel size blush brush. I've seriously had this thing for like 10 years. And I just basically do the lightest amount, get the color on, and then I blend it back into the bronzer and contour. I feel like full faces haven't been on YouTube in such a long time. Like, everyone just does the eye tutorial and then like focuses especially on foundation, which I get because it does take up quite a bit of time. But this is fun to do because I haven't done my face on camera in ages. So I am going to, I probably should have done this after I finished my lower lash line, but oh well. I'm just taking this Becca highlight in Moonstone. It's just like a nice natural finish. I like using this first. And then I do take a little bit right above my forehead, which is super dry and patchy and looking horrendous. So that's always great. And then to make things a little bit more extreme, because I'm a highlight freak, I take Ofra Glazed Donut. And this really just intensifies everything. It's super powdery, super pigmented. You don't need a lot, so I'll just take the leftovers down the bridge of my nose and on my Cupid's bow. And I just focus this mostly on mostly on the high points of my cheeks. And then if I don't wear a blush, or because I don't wear a lot of brush, can't talk today. Because I don't wear blush or wear a lot, this is a Dose of Colors highlight in Mirame. So I just take a Luxie 522 tapered highlighting brush, and I just hit the tops of my cheekbones. This is also nice too because I do like to have a glow on my cheekbones, but because I'm so pale, that Moonstone and Glazed Donut is like really white and bright, and I don't necessarily want that on the top of my cheekbones. So I really like using this as a last step as a blush topper, and you guys can see it just kind of incorporates some rosy tones before it gets into the iciness of the highlight. So now I'm going to set my face. It's always such a process. So this is the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. It's cooling and hydrating. Could let your face air dry, but I just take a piece of paper or this info card, for example, and I just like to fan my face dry. So for the color, I am taking the Kaleidoscope palette by Urban Decay, and I really wanted to focus on a bright green under eye, so we're definitely going to be using Lime Time. But first, I think I'm going to take a mixture of LCW and TRM. So this light blue and darker blue, I'm going to take a mixture of that and then blend it out with the Lime Time. The two blue colors, I am taking my Morphe M432 brush. This is perfect for stamping color on your lower lash line. And it would also be really good for carving out your brows. I kind of wish I had two of these. So I'm just going to stamp and wiggle. And I'm going to take a hint more of the dark blue, the TRM color. Now that we have that figured out, I am taking a Morphe E36 brush. This is just like a really nice like pencil brush, super small and rounded, perfect for blending out your lower lash line. I also really like this if I want to pack on highlight under my brow bone. This is really great, and then it's also really great for the inner corner. So I am, again, I wish I had another one. So now I'm going in with Lime Time, that lime green color, and I'm going to blend this out. And it's always up to you how much color and how far down you want to smoke things out. I like a pretty smoky lower lash line, so I tend to bring mine down further. Bring this all the way to the inner corner because again, I want to mimic that round shape. And you can see the difference, how the green just kind of transformed the blue colors into a little bit of a darker green, and I'm really liking how that's looking. Okay, so I decided what I'm going to do on the lid. So taking the shade Decade, this matte beigey peach color, I'm going to pack that onto the lid. And I think I want to do a little bit of a halo eye. So what I'm going to actually do, where's the damn brush? Where'd it go? Why do gremlins always take the things I need? Going back in with this oval brush in the shade Miami and Loyalty, I'm going to take a mixture of the two and I'm going to build that on the outer and inner corner. So I kind of already have the colors dragged down. It's just a matter of just buffing them out slightly more onto the lid. You know, I swear I was going for like a really easy, super simple, slightly smoky on top with a pop of color on bottom. But this is what we are rolling with now. So now I am taking a tapered flat brush. This is by Soho. And I have that Decade matte color and I'm just going to focus this on the center of my eye. I'm not really going to extend this past the crease. I'm just going to put this right on the center of my eyeball. I'm going to smooth out that edge. And then we can blend even further the Miami color on top of it and just go back and forth for a seamless blend. Losing eyelash left and right. Gotta stop wearing falsies. So there you can see the difference. With the same brush, I am going to go into 2008 and put this right under my brow bone. So right across through there. And then just to blend that, go back with the one fluffy brush. That was pretty clean. Going back into the Kaleidoscope palette, I'm going to take the shade Leo. So it's like this highlighty shade, but it has a green undertone. And I'm going to go back with the same brush and lightly pack this right onto the center. Basically right on top of that Decade base that we set down. So you can kind of see the difference. It brings in some light and some green reflect to the center of the eye, which is so pretty. All right, so I cleaned off my E36 brush and I'm just going back in with that Leo shade that we just put on the center of the lid. And I'm gonna pack this onto the inner corner. And you can just see how this is just gonna tie in nicely with the lime color. That's just gonna make it look brighter and give it more of like a duochrome finish to it. So my natural lashes are a little bit of a hot mess because I've been wearing a lot of falsies lately, so they're in their regrowth stage. But in case you were curious, for mascara, I like using the Maybelline Falsies Push Up Angel Mascara. This is really great for combing through and lengthening your lashes, and it also gets the base of your lash line really nice and dark. Definitely a comb shape, so I use that first. I'm extra, I use 3 different mascaras. And then to add volume, I use the Colosso Big Shot by Maybelline. This is the one partnered with Shayla. So definitely bigger bristles. And then for my lower lash line, I love using the MAC Giga Black Extend and Play. This is like made for your lower lashes. It gets them, grips them, and you can really run it through. So I wiggle to get my lashes looking thick and long on the lower end. So for lips, big surprise, I'm gonna keep it nude. I'm just going to go on top with this super nude lip gloss by KKW Beauty. This is part of the Mario collab. In case you guys are curious, I have a review, 3 looks with 1 palette featuring that collection. Both videos will be linked down below. And this is the finished look for my spring early summer pop of color makeup tutorial. I really hope you guys learned something cool and new today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, turn the bell on so you are notified when my new videos are out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.